This video is all about who is winning in the music industry today, and I'm going to give you a little hint. It is not major record labels. Okay, so there was a very interesting article that I was reading, and this is from the musicbusinessworldwide.com. And the title of this article is "The Major Record Companies Saw Their Spotify Market Share Fall Again in 2023. Yet even before artist-centric changes, this decline started slowing." So essentially, major record labels are losing market share. According to the research cited in this article, it's about 75% of the music industry goes to major record labels and their artists and affiliates. They still own the lion's share of the market. However, interesting to note that DIY artists also lost market share according to Spotify in 2023. DIY artists are shrinking ever since 2021 or so. They've been slowly getting smaller in terms of their overall market share of Spotify streaming royalties. And so there's a fewer number of artists that made over $10,000 from Spotify streaming alone. In 2021 was the first year of that decline. I think that this is super fascinating data because if on one hand we have DIY artists who are losing market share, basically earning less money from their music on Spotify. On the other hand, we also have other major record labels also losing market share of the industry overall. So who is winning? Who is actually benefiting from this? And the answer is it's artists who have management companies who are distributing their music or indie record labels. So small record labels, mom and pop shops that are not major labels. Basically, this is saying that most of those artists that were releasing music and making over $10,000 probably have management now. They sign those management deals, and it's becoming more and more common for DIY artists to not be DIY so much and actually get a team behind them. And that's becoming more and more the norm, which actually really makes sense because so I have a music management agency called Night Owl Music Group. We help artists break out from zero or just floundering monthly streams on Spotify to over 100,000 streams on their very first release working with us. And if you want to find out how we do that, there's a link right down below in the video. I can see the benefit firsthand of having a management agency behind you, helping you produce your songs, helping you write songs, set up songwriting sessions if you need help there, actually helping you with campaign strategies and release promotion strategies, and actually think about that with other people of how to actually do this well. And also, one of the most powerful things, actually having accountability of an artist accountable to actually showing up and doing the work that's necessary to be successful in music today. One person working alone, going DIY, will never make it as far as 4 people or 5 people who are supporting that artist in addition to the artist themselves and all moving in the same direction, right? So right when we put that team behind it, let alone like different specialties of, music promotion or music production or songwriting, like all those specialties, right, can then be added to the artist. Inherently, as a DIY artist, you just can't be an expert in everything. It's impossible. You can't be a world-class mastering engineer and a world-class mixing engineer and a world-class promotion PR specialist. You also can't be a world-class singer, etc. There's just too many skills for one person to get good at in a reasonable amount of time to be successful. While I'm not saying it's impossible to be successful because you only have to have a certain level of skill in each of those to not be the bottleneck for your music, it's still obviously helpful to have expertise in all of those individual areas. Okay, what's becoming more and more common is for artists and small teams to be successful in music. And so one of the best ways today to be able to take advantage of that is build that small team around you and make sure that you're actually taking this data into effect, because obviously DIY artists are really struggling. Even major labels are losing to these small agile teams of individuals who can rapidly change to the changing landscape of music, create music that sounds radio ready without actually needing the major label budget, because recording is just so much more accessible. So it's those people who are just good at their craft, don't necessarily have the infrastructure in place, but are still great at what they do that is excelling these independent artists forward. Music management agencies don't take all of your money, unlike a lot of labels do. Even indie music labels are often giving much more fair and artist-centric artist-centric deals than they have ever in the past. Even some major labels are leaning more that way because the shift of power has changed a lot, where the audience is really the monetizable asset. So if you have an audience as an independent artist, you have way more power over a label than the label used to, because the label, the power used to be in just the streams of distribution, right? So radio, record stores, those actual physical distribution channels used to be the power in the industry. Now it's not. It's completely shifted the other way. So the audience is what's valuable. And so if you have an audience, then all of a sudden you're going to be far, far more valuable and be able to get a much better deal with any record label you sign with or management group that you sign with than you ever would have before the shift of the economy to an audience-centric approach. Again, if you want to learn how Night Owl Music Group actually gets 100,000 streams minimum on every single release we put out with our first-time artists, you can go check that link in the description below to actually learn how we do that. If you have additional thoughts around there, if there's things that I did not talk about in this video, I just thought this was a fascinating topic to talk about, leave me a comment down below. I would love to get your thoughts on what this shift in the industry means overall. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.